Governor Ed Rendell has asked the Justice Department to intervene in the case of a murder, a police murder of a Puerto Rican man. Now, do you think that's the kind of thing Governor Rendell would generally be fighting for? So, you know, our sister Pam sometimes sees things that the rest of us don't. And in New York State, there's an investigation, a Justice Department investigation, right now, a civil rights investigation of the Youth Division of Corrections. The detention centers for youth in New York have been considered so outrageous, so destructive to youth, that the Justice Department has taken over that entire department. And they no longer have the power. In fact, the judges in New York State right now, unless someone is eligible for being put in an adult prison, they stopped sending kids to youth correction facilities, and that is a great victory. But that is the kind of investigation we can demand. Why can't they do a civil rights investigation of the prosecutor's office? You know, all of that is possible. Don't let people tell you this is impossible. The Justice Department has huge jurisdiction and powers. And our job is to make them do it. They're doing it for other people, not for us.
President Obama, this is addressed to you. Sir, with the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, if you have not noticed, racism has not disappeared. Racism thrives. Racism has and continues to thrive in the criminal justice system and definitely in our law enforcement system. We are calling for a civil rights investigation because in 1968, a young man stepped up to the plate at 14 years old and became a Minister of Information for the Black Panther Party here in Philadelphia. And probably before that moment, they have had him under investigation. Now, Mr. Obama, we know that Cointelpro was behind or responsible for deaths and the destruction of many movements in this society. A lot of those movements were nonviolent, like that of Martin Luther King Jr. We know that, Mr. Obama. You know that, Mr. Obama. So, Mr. Obama, when I cast my vote for you, I cast my vote because you were different. I cast my vote because you were an African American, and I expected that you would bring to the White House some African blackness, some perspective or some view of what was going on beneath that silver lining we call the White House. Mumia Abu-Jamal was definitely a target of Cointelpro. It is alleged that Cointelpro was disbanded as a program in 1971, April 5th of 1971. That is a lie. There is ample evidence to indicate that the tactics and practices of the Cointelpro program was in existence then and still remain in existence today. Mr. Obama, we would also like you to investigate FOP, the Fraternity Order of Police, which the Fraternity Order of Police, which was founded in 1915, and I'm sure in 1915 the civil rights of people they investigated was not a consideration. But Mr. Obama, we are calling on you to open up a civil rights investigation because the FOP, which has a list of people who support Mumia Abu-Jamal on their website and who supports harassing those people, I imagine that's why they list them, which the campaign on the death penalty, Pam is on there, Susan is on there, Ozzie Davis, and other people who support Mumia Abu-Jamal. But the power of the FOP is too extenuous. I mean, you have judges, lawyers, you have a contradiction of the Constitution of the United States in which you have taken an oath to uphold. So we are calling for an investigation into the FOP. The only place it has not probably had any influence is the Civil Rights Commission. You know, so Mr. Obama, we are calling for you to do that, and also Mr. Holder, we are calling for you to do that.
We must have the information to go. It's very clear to everyone what the task is. These people want to either give Mumia the death sentence or life in prison, and neither is acceptable. And we have enough information. We have a worldwide movement in order to stop this and have Mumia released alive in Philadelphia. Harriet Tubman said she could have freed a lot more slaves if people only understood that, you know, that they were free. And that's what's happening here. The convincing of people who know that we have the evidence, who turn around and tell you time after time that, you know, this is the way it is. No. John Africa taught us no one has the right to do wrong. We must confront. We must stop this for the sake of our children, for our loved ones. We must, with all we got, deal with this situation. What we did today, again, is history. We're building. This is the first of many, and we're learning the technology. April 26th, we're going to be in Washington. And before we get to Washington, we must raise the numbers. We must raise it in our communities. We must raise it throughout the world.